Hi, it's Miss Hall.
And Miss Nelson, um, today you guys are getting notes over compliments of an event. We are actually going to be practicing this and doing it after we come back. After we come back for Christmas, but we wanted to go ahead and give it to you now to kind of break down and lessen the notes of when we actually come back from Christmas break. So, what a compliment is? A compliment is the probability that goes with whatever you were talking about. So, for example, if I was talking about the probability of heads is 1/2, so the complement of the probability of heads would be the other outcome. So the opposite of it, which is tails, which also happens to be 1/2. So I think as we explain these, you'll start getting the idea of what a complement is. This is a very simple concept. You've just got to pay attention to the key words in a problem to know what you're doing. So let's start with number 1. It says you roll a die. What is the probability that 2 will not appear on the die? Okay, so the probability that 2 will appear on the dice is 1 out of 6 times, okay, because there's only 1 2 out of the 6 numbers. So if I want not 2, then that means that's 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you count all of that, those are the 5 remaining numbers out of the 6. So the probability that 2 will not appear on the dice is going to be your 5 6. The 5 6 is the complement to the 1 6 because what a complement is means that they add to a whole number of 1. So if I add 1 6 and 5 6, I get 6 6, which adds up here to a whole number of a 1. Okay? So number 2, 2 6-sided dice are rolled. What is the probability of rolling a number that is not an odd number? So this is going to be a compound event. We've got 2 events going on. So I'm going to have 2 dice. I want something and something else. So I know I'm going to be multiplying. So what is the probability of rolling a number that is not an odd number? So that means that I want evens. Okay, and evens is 2, 4, and 6. So that's 3 out of 6, which is 1/2. So on one dice, my probability is 1/2. On my second dice, my probability is still 1/2. So when I multiply those two together, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. So my overall probability of rolling 2 number dices and not getting an odd number is 1 out of 4 chances.
Okay, number 3, Ray and Sean are playing football. The probability of Ray winning the football game is 36 hundredths. What is the probability that Sean is of Sean winning? Remember, Miss Nelson just said your probability and your complement add up to be 1. They already told us that Ray's probability is 36 hundredths. So all we have to do is take 1 and subtract 36 hundredths from it. Make sure you line up those decimals. So I've got 9, 1, 4, 6. So the probability of Sean winning is 64 hundredths. Again, if you add those two together, it is going to be 1. Okay, a girl chooses some item at random from 12 shirts and 16 tops. What is the probability that the girl does not choose a skirt? Well, first of all, we have to figure out her total possible outcomes. She has 12 skirts, 16 tops, so she has 28 possible outcomes. What is the probability of her not choosing a skirt? If she did not choose a skirt, that means she chose a top. So it's going to be 16 out of 28. I can simplify that by 4, because 4 goes into both 16 and 28. So she has a 4 out of 7 probability of not choosing a skirt.
And again, if we were to find the probability of her choosing a skirt and add that to my probability of her choosing the top, which is the complement, you would get back to 1. So number 5, a bowl contains 2 green, 10 blue, and 8 red stones. If 2 stones are chosen at random from the bowl, what is the probability that it is not green? Okay, so I want the probability of not green and the probability of not green. Now I'm just writing it this way so that you can see how you might see it in the words and being in the middle, so I know I'm going to be multiplying. So first I need to know the total number of stones, so I'm going to add them together. So I have 2, 10, and 8 for a total of 20. So I know that my numbers are going to be a 20 on the bottom. And I'm going to keep it over here on the side because I may actually simplify my fraction before sticking it up there. So probability that it is not a green. Well, 2 are the greens, so that means I'll have a probability of a blue and a red. So I have 18 total. So rather than multiplying the 2 big numbers, I'm going to simplify this 18 20th first. If I divide it by 2, that puts me down to 9/10. So I have the probability of 9/10 being multiplied by 9/10. And when I multiply that, 9 times 9 is 81. 10 times 10 is 100. 81 and 100 do not have anything in common. So my probability is 81 100ths.
Okay, 6. A number from 1 to 8 is chosen at random. What is the probability that the number chosen is not even? So we have total of 8 possible outcomes, 1 to 8. We have our not even ones would be our odd. So we're looking for our odd ones, so that would be 1, 3, 5, and 7. We have 4 odd numbers. That simplifies to 1/2. So our probability of not choosing an even is 1/2. Okay, on your own, we want y'all to do try 7, 8, 9, and 10, and come in with any questions you might have.
Now remember, you must have those 4 additional ones done if you want credit for your notes. You can't leave them blank.
Okay, bye.